of a girl after being sedated, restrained, and worked on by the dentist. The family is represented by attorneys Catherine McCready, Andrew Sulo of Sulo and Sulo in Houston, and Ryan Skyver of the Skyver Law Firm in Phoenix, Arizona, and James Moriarty in Houston. So the evidence in trial was heartbreaking, Skyver said. A 30-pound girl, a little more than a toddler, was physically and chemically suffocated by an out-of-control, financially motivated dentist. Okay? Financially motivated dentists. These dentists that do these procedures in this negligent way, they do not take care with the children. They get as many as they can through. They use physical restraints. They mix medication with milks and other things to induce the children to become groggy so that they can do more work than what would normally be done in one sitting in a proper dental practice. Well, imagine in one sitting you're doing 4 or 5 root canals, and you're also getting crowns on all those root canals in one sitting, because that's what happens in these corporate practices. They're here. They're there to maximize the amount of billing they can do. So the child is now restrained in a papoose board outside of the presence of their parents, and they're sedated, and that dentist is just going hog wild in there, doing like 4 or 5 root canals and crowns on all of them at the same time. So that's what happens in the corporate practice of dentistry, people. That's real. So if you're out there and you have young children, be careful about where you bring them to the dentist. I know a lot of people don't have a choice. Medicaid, Medi-Cal, here in California, Medi-Cal, Denti-Cal, the public option doesn't provide many options. And many of the dentists who get involved in Medi-Cal, Medicaid-related services, they're working for a corporate practice, which basically means there's an advisory company that does all of the hiring of all the administrative staff. They do all of the scheduling of all of the patients and basically provide everything except for the dentist coming in and working on the client. So the dentist comes in the day, and they're just given the clients. And then they're told, hey, daily dashboard, you have to produce a certain amount every day. Not only do you have to do that, we'll bonus you if you do. And if you don't meet it, then you go. So the corporate dental practice is farming dentists who will perform these amounts of procedures. And that's whether or not that's moral or ethical or whatnot, that's up for a jury to decide. And in this case, I think that they decided that this type of financially motivated dentist who's doing Medicaid work, high volume, got out of control, and that jury decided that it was time to make sure that that dentists understand that if they're going to do that type of work, that there will be consequences if they, in fact, mess up and they don't perform it to the standard of care that they should. And in addition to that, if they're motivated by money, they're financially motivated dentists who are doing this in order to bill extra work that's not necessary, that there is going to be an additional component of punitive damages. Nevaeh's parents, Carissa and Derek, courageously fought for justice, McCready said. From the beginning of this nightmare to now, they have urged regulators, law enforcement, and elected officials to help clean up the dental industry. Article goes on to quote Attorney James Moriarty. This terrible incident was the consequence of the epidemic of overtreating children at corporate-owned Medicaid clinics managed to maximize profits. Okay, Nevaeh was one of many child victims of rotten dentists like Nathaniel Jefferson, Moriarty said. So that's it, people. I mean, if you have young children, this is real. This is Attorney Alexander Napolin, Attorney at Large, goes live every weekday afternoon discussing the current event from a legal perspective and answering your questions in the chat. Remember, it's entertainment only. It's not legal advice. If you need legal advice, you need to call a lawyer, give that lawyer the specific facts and circumstances of your case, and then get that direct feedback from